Well, hello everybody. It's almost time for Halloween again, so let's do another spooky build. Last year I did this little witch house. A lot of fun to build, didn't take a lot of time or space, but added a lot of character and story to our world, which for me is what Minecraft is all about. This year, we're going to build a haunted well, and I want to show you the final product first, then we'll show you how to build it. So here it is, in all its glory. I know, it doesn't seem all that impressive. Just a little well with a little place to hang a bucket. And if we pop up on top of the edge here, you can see it kind of goes down a little bit and oh, we fell in. Oh gosh. Well, this must be the way out. So if we wander down here. Oh gosh. That didn't look good. Oh, this is the way out. Okay, that's better. Don't want to deal with any horrible monsters, but... Interesting. We made it. So how exactly did that work? Well, on the surface, it's just a little bit of building. Underneath, there's a fair amount of redstone, not too complicated though, and a lot of decoration that really kind of sells it. So let's dig in and I'll show you how to build it. So we're going to put our well just right out front of our witch house here, and it's just going to be a little thing. I think, about here, just a 1x1 kind of thing here, and I want to use stone to make it look weathered and kind of spooky. Okay, nice and simple little well, no big deal. Now I think I want our well to go down about 10 blocks. And we don't want it to just go from this, stone here to dirt. We want the stone to continue down. So as I dig, I'm going to replace the dirt blocks with stone so that it looks like it's an actual well. Okay, we've come down about 10 blocks, and then I'm going to start digging a little bit in this direction. This is going to end up being our way out. And then in the opposite direction, we're going to dig this way. This is going to be the way that we think is the way out. Now I went down that way about 30 blocks because you want it to get really dark down at the end of that tunnel. Now here at the bottom of the well, I'm going to knock out a few of these blocks so that there's sort of a landing here for us to arrive in when we come tumbling down the well. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace the floor with water. And the reason for that is A, it's a well, and B, I want to try and make this thing as spawn-proof as possible. I don't want things living down here, and if I fell down here, or if a friend fell down here, I don't want them to actually get attacked by monsters. I just want it to look scary. To keep it dark, we're going to use a lot of deep slate and a lot of black stone. So this here is the little area that you're going to fall down into, and there'll be water down here. This is going to be sealed up, and this is going to look like the only way out. So we're going to work on this next. So now from this area here, when we look down, we have this nice gradient down into blackness. Only goes back about that far, but it looks like it just goes into a kind of endless void, except for the floor. The floor is the next thing we're going to address. That's looking really good. I'm going to trade these two out for stairs. That way everything is going to be spawn proof here. And now we need to do some redstone. So what's going to happen is somebody will stumble in here, and again, this will be closed off. This will be open. So this will look like the way out. And as they walk down here, I want to have a tripwire that they trigger, which then reveals a monster down here. I'm going to add a little light just so we can see what we're doing back here. So our monster is going to be on this wall, and then what we're going to do is we're going to have some pistons that are going to extend through this space here. We're going to dig a little corridor back here for our redstone to run through. You need to light this up as we go, and once we get redstone in here, it'll be spawn proof, but for now, we don't want things appearing on us. Right here, we're going to pop a couple of sticky pistons. We're going to put black concrete in front of them, so those can extend right here. Keep this spawn proof. I dug one down and then put a bit of carpet on top of that. So this is all going to be really invisible from down here. The next thing I want to do is figure out where our tripwire hook should be. So we're going to plop down right here. We start walking in this direction. Maybe here might be a good spot. Yeah, that's pretty invisible from down here. So again, to make sure everything is spawn proof, I'm going to dig down just a little bit, and we'll put a black carpet down here, and then that'll give us space to put the tripwire across. See, it's already pretty invisible. You'll walk along, and not only will you think you're falling, but this monster will appear. So it'll be a nice little shock here. Cool. We've got our tripwire, everything is spawn proof, everything's invisible. That back. Looks great. So right here is where our tripwire is. And what we're going to do is take a signal out of there, send it on down. Now our sticky pistons, we want them to be extended all the time. And then when we trip this wire, we want them to retract. So what we're doing is we're taking the signal into a repeater into this block. And then on this block, there's a torch. And the torch has the sticky pistons extended right now. When we trip this wire, that'll turn the torch off and it'll retract them. We can probably run around and give it a real quick test. So if we start walking down here, it's very dark. And then once we get here, we can see the monster. So there's one more thing that I want to happen when we trip that wire, and that is I want the monster to make a noise. So we're going to do something similar to what we did right here, and we're going to invert a signal. Because this block is being powered, it turns this torch off. I don't want the monster making noise all the time. I only want it to make noise when this torch turns on. So we'll put some dust here, a couple of repeaters, and then we're going to put our note blocks here. Note blocks sound different depending on what they're sitting on top of. We're going to put these on top of pumpkins. One there, one there. And then if you hit them, that's the sound they make. Now I'm going to tune one of them half a step up because that minor second, that rub is really, really awful sounding. So I'll show you what I mean. It's a really gnarly sound. I'm going to seal some of this up just so we can keep everything mob free. Now we have a situation where if we walk down here and trip this wire, we're going to see the monster take a little tumble and hear this noise. Perfect. So the last thing we need to do at the end of this tunnel is make our monster. So I'm going to use a dark oak sign because it's the darkest wood. I'm going to come down one line, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste a Unicode character into the sign. If you don't know how to do this, I'll leave a link in the description that explains what Unicode characters are, and also some of the Unicode characters that are supported in Minecraft. There's all kinds of cool little symbols like pickaxes and skulls and things like that that you can actually paste right into a sign. So we're going to do one of those, and we'll do a few spaces. Let's see, about there, and I'll paste another one. Oh, come back one. There we go. Done. Cool. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dye the sign red. Awesome. And now we're going to make the sign glow. Spooky. I'm going to replace this. Rid of our torch. Let's see what it looks like. Yep, that's great. I got rid of any extra torches I didn't need down there. Cover up those spaces where they're spawnable, and we're basically done down that end of the tunnel. Now, for the other side, there's two things we need to do. One is we need to make a way out, and then second, we need to make this invisible until the monster is revealed. So at the end of this tunnel, we'll come to this dead end here, and there'll be a ladder up to a trapdoor. We're going to spawn-proof this tunnel in a similar way. And then we need to figure out how to make our redstone open this door over here. We're going to put sticky pistons here, and then a couple of deep slate blocks that'll close this off. So in order to make this door open and close the way we want, we're going to have to make a little bit of an unusual switch. I'm going to build it real quick, and then I'll show you how it works. Okay, so we've got this little circuit here, and it looks really simple. It's actually a little complicated to explain, but I'll kind of walk you through it. I think this is what they call an RS NOR latch. So as it stands right now, this set of pistons are being powered by this torch. So if we peek over here, we can see this is closed. This little torch is powering that piston, and then behind this block, there's another piston being powered. And then this torch is also powering this line of redstone, which is making this torch stay off. So that's how the system sits right now. Now, when we run down here and we trip that wire, a signal is going to come along this way. Repeater's going to push it into this block, which is going to turn that guy off, meaning this door will open. The other thing that's going to happen is this is going to get unpowered, meaning this guy can kick back on, and he's going to power this, which will keep that torch off. Let me show you what it looks like. We're going to run down here, trip this little wire, and we'll see the monster. There he is. And you can see the door opened, and it stays open. So if we run back down here, this guy got turned off, which unpowered this. He can kick back on, power this line, which keeps this powered off. Super cool. Now, just beyond the doorway, right here is a pressure plate. And when we step on that pressure plate, a signal is going to come up this way. And this is just a mirror image of that. So repeater is going to push signal into this, which will turn this torch off, unpower this. This guy kicks back on, which will close the door. We'll try that out. We'll come over here, we step on the pressure plate, the door closes. Let's try it one more time, and you'll also notice, if I trip the wire, when this opens, if I trip the wire again, we keep sending a signal down to the monster over and over, but this doesn't change. And that's, of course, because the signal is getting pushed into this block, but the torch is already off. It's being held off by this one here. So it's a really cool system for switching something back and forth if you want it to stay in one state until you switch the other switch. And when that happens, same deal. I can step on this one over and over. Not going to open back up because the signal's being held over there. Last thing we need to do is just decorate this place. So I'm going to put some water in there. Waterlog that guy, waterlog that guy. Cool. I'm going to do just a little bit of glow lichen to add a little bit of ambiance, but I don't want to make things too bright. Well, that's it for the Haunted Well. I hope you guys found that fun and interesting. Builds don't have to be gigantic to be really compelling and exciting. A little bit of redstone, a little bit of decoration can go a really, really long way. Hope you guys have a great Halloween. Stay safe, have fun. Please like and subscribe if you want to follow along on the adventure, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.